What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. The point of the video I'm trying to make today is to make you guys, car buyers, think twice about paying ridiculous sums of money for optional extras that aren't going to improve your driving experience at all. And the reason why I'm filming this video using the 2020 Passat R-Line variant is because this car has 2 out of 5 of the most pointless car features out there, at least in my opinion. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about today is gesture control. You know what that is? It's a feature that allows you to control some of the car's functions. I mean, have you ever seen a more pointless feature on a car before? Doing this while you're in traffic just so you can turn the radio louder. I mean, even if they worked properly, which most of them don't, they would still be useless. Why would you want to wave your hands in the air, pretend like you're poking the infotainment system, and do all kinds of weird movements with your hands when you can just turn a knob on your infotainment system? Or better still, use the buttons on the steering wheel to turn up the stereo's volume, for example, change stations, change tracks on your media. You can do basically any operation from here. I mean, I like tech and I like gimmicks too, but this for me is just like the title says it is. Kind of pointless. Granted, in the Passat, this gesture control that, yeah, now it worked, is free. But in BMWs, fitting that feature to your car costs around 1,000 euros. Now, you tell me, is that worth the price? Moving on, the second pointless feature on my list is head-up displays. Don't get me wrong, the level at which they are now is incredible, but are they really useful? I've heard a lot of people argue that this is a good feature to have because it allows you to keep your eyes on the road while still being able to read the information that the head-up display provides you with. But I don't really agree with that, because if you're looking at the road, your eyes are actually focused on the road and you can't really see the information on the head-up display. So you really do need to take your eyes off the road and focus on the head-up display information in order to read it. So you might as well just glance down at the speedometer or the infotainment system for a second to see the information you need, instead of paying 1,000 euros for a proper head-up display. And don't even get me started on the cheaper versions that come in Fords, Renaults and Minis. Actually, you know what I'm talking about here. You've probably seen my Ford Focus ST line review, which had one of those pop-up head-up displays. Imagine the things that can go wrong with such a system. And it's not really a cheap system, because the one in the Ford that I mentioned previously costs 350 euros as an optional extra. And what do you get in exchange? Bunch more headaches for when the car's warranty runs out, and a plastic screen showing you information. I don't know. If I were you, I would just save the cash and use it for something else. The third thing on my list is soft close for the doors. It's a feature that can automatically close the door when it senses it's close to the frame of the car. And not only are those some mechanisms that can break in the future, but you also need to remember to not shut the door like in any other car, for example. And that just doesn't happen easily, because our brains are wired to just get in the car and shut the door quickly behind us. Simple as that. It's like second nature. You don't really think about it, you just do it. A couple of years ago, I spent 2 weeks in a 7 Series that had that feature, and the only time I remembered about it was when I was showing the car to my friends. I simply couldn't remember to use that feature in day-to-day life when rushing from one place to another. Plus, some of them are also dangerous if you happen to hold your hand on the door frame and the wind nudges the door and triggers the soft close mechanism. This is actually a thing because BMW had to deal with that a couple of years ago. If I remember correctly, they had a few complaints about this specific problem. Now on to one of my least favorite features to ever be mounted to a car. Fake exhausts. And this Passat R-Line has that, and it's one of the ugliest implementations I've ever seen, unfortunately. Case in point, look at this. These are supposed to be the tailpipes of the Passat, and it has 4 of them. But unfortunately, they're fake because the real exhaust pipes are right underneath. Can you see that? Look at that. Same goes for the left side. That just looks so ugly in my opinion. And it's not only on Volkswagens, unfortunately, because most of BMW's M Performance lineup has those fake exhausts, including the awesome M550i I drove a couple of years ago. And unfortunately, most manufacturers nowadays do that, apparently because it makes the car look better. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to say that you fitted fake exhausts to a car for design purposes, because when you're on the road and you're following a car that has those fake exhausts, you can clearly tell that the real ones are behind them. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is voice control. One of those features that makes you wonder, really? Is that what cars have been missing all this time and we didn't know? They don't really work as advertised, but car manufacturers insist that these systems will get better and better along with new software updates. But to me, that just sounds like a politician telling you they're gonna do this and that thing just as long as you vote for them. But anyway, here's my experience with the system, the best one BMW offers at this moment, fitted to the new 3 Series. BMW Assistant, I think it's called, and it can perform various operations for you. Let me give a quick demo. Hey BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
It's a bit chilly in here.
Could you try once again?
It's a bit cold in the interior.
Please repeat your input or say help.
Oh, you stupid ass.
Sorry, I didn't quite understand you again. Maybe these example commands might be helpful.
It's kinda hot in here.
I'm sorry. Please try again, in surroundings that are as quiet as possible.
Hey BMW. It's kinda warm in here.
Which temperature shall I set?
22 degrees.
I set the temperature in the driver's area on 22 degrees Celsius.
So there you go. After 30 minutes of trying, you can actually make it work. I mean, my English is far from being perfect, but still, I would place these systems in the same bucket as gestures control. Thanks, but no thanks. But anyways, guys, this is my top 5 pointless features ever to be fitted on the car. Let me know what are features you want to add to this list that you think are pointless on a car. Write them down in the comment section below the like button. That's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm gonna try and do more of these top 5 videos in the future because they seem to work very well on the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come. And until next time, take good care of yourselves and I'll see you around.